So you figured out you have a histamine issue. You're treating it. Why aren't you feeling better? Number one, most people who are doing this are not actually doing a comprehensive approach where you're stabilizing those mast cells that are releasing histamine and basically lowering the histamine and inflammation before you dive in and trying to work on what's going on behind the scenes. We've got to calm the mast cell response before we do other stuff, or you're just going to end up with your immune system throwing bombs at everything and anything that you put in your body, including the food that you're eating. You're going to get brain fog, fatigue after you eat. It's really uncomfortable. Number two, I see a lot of people doing things like glutathione or B12, folate, things that move these upper detox pathways without making sure that everything is in place downstream for the more peripheral downstream detox pathways that those upper pathways then funnel to. It's like pouring water into a plugged tub if the lower pathways aren't adequately open. And the third thing is probably not actually treating the root cause. So the root cause of your histamine issues aren't a lack of antihistamines. The root cause is whatever the hidden immune trigger is that your body is responding to, which is usually something that's a hidden infection in the body or a biotoxin exposure or something that's going on in the gut. And then there's a handful of other things that can happen as well. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking, oh, it's just coming from my gut. I can just do this with like nutrition and a couple like functional labs. That does not work for most people who have histamine issues, unfortunately. This is a systemic cellular issue that's going on. And a side note too would be hormones are really neglected in this area. Progesterone stabilizes histamine and estrogen increases histamine release. And then testosterone acts as a nice natural sex hormone steroid that actually can help lower inflammation. So if you have low testosterone or if you have a high estrogen to progesterone ratio, even if your gynecologist told you your labs were normal, you could actually be contributing to your histamine issue with your hormones. So it's really common for people to have pretty drastic fluctuations in how you feel during the month if you're having periods. Because you're going through this month with hormone fluctuations, you're not just feeling the effects of the changing hormones, you're feeling the effects of that shift on your histamine and how that's affecting your entire body-wide inflammation. So basically you're getting it twofold. So all of these are really important to consider. It's so important to find someone who specializes in histamine and isn't just gut and nutrition focused. Restricting histamine is never going to be the answer. Restricting histamine foods. Just fixing your gut is never the answer when it comes to this kind of severe histamine picture. So unfortunately, there's usually a lot going on behind the scenes. We need to look at everything and how it all plays together. And then the other part of the picture, which I talk a lot about, is the fight or flight brain response. So if you have any questions about histamine, feel free to ask in the comments or reach out. I'm also working on doing a histamine podcast that'll be coming out soon. So stay tuned. I'm Dr. Rachel. I work with people who have chronic inflammation or histamine issues and help people get their lives back.